Welcome back to Footy Classified. The Magpies are going beautifully. They have no fear about getting on an aeroplane travelling. They did it again against the Sydney Swans on the weekend, and one of their stars joins us in the Nissan Navara hot seat. Harry Obrien, welcome.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having me, guys.
Mate, the victory up in Sydney was typical of the way the Magpies go when they jump on a plane interstate. I mean, there's something about you boys. You travel well.
Yeah, we certainly do enjoy getting over, going interstate together. I think we've got a lot of faith in our strength and conditioning coach, David Butterfin, who also sports science as well. He just has like a really good routine for us that seems to serve us really well.
Well, it's holding you in great stead because your form's been outstanding. All Australian form, there's no question about that. And just watching on Saturday night, you were running freely. Your drive off half-back has been sensational with Heath Shaw and others. You kicked the first goal of the game, which would have been nice, I would imagine, but it just looked like you really enjoyed that weekend off.
Yeah, certainly. I think it's such a great initiative by the AFL to have that split round. It's such a long year, and the intensity of the game has certainly increased from when I first played, and particularly this year as well. So having that week to restore your body is vital, and I've certainly enjoyed that week off as well.
Now, Harry, if I was coaching St Kilda Footy Club, I would be more concerned about playing Collingwood than playing Geelong this year, which is a pretty big statement given Geelong's form, but that's exactly how I feel as a person that's coached before and watches footy at the moment. Why do I have this perception of Collingwood being such a dangerous team in big games, and that consistency doesn't seem to be held the whole time, but why is Collingwood such a dangerous team in big games?
That's your perception, and yeah, that's great that you do have that. I think possibly because against St Kilda, we match up really well against them. It's generally it's a game of defences. You know, Mick places great emphasis on defence. So does Ross Lyon as well. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's why we generally have low scoring games, and I think the last game we played them and St Kilda beat us. It was a lot closer game than what the score showed. So I think it's just a battle of defences. It's just a dogfight, really.
Is there a culture within the club with a big game coming up? Does during the week change at all? Does Mick have a more intense focus, a stronger focus? Does the leadership group get together more and instill more passion and intensity? Because it seems to me that you guys just love a big game, love a big challenge, and that intensity isn't always there against some lesser sides.
Yeah, I think every game for us is a huge game. Teams seem to fire themselves up when they come playing against us. I think you look at games where Melbourne really fire themselves up to play at the Collingwood Football Club. I think the advantage we have is that because we have such a huge following, and we have the largest crowds, they're sort of dress rehearsals for those big blockbuster games. So I think that's certainly an advantage. But having said that, we've failed to beat Geelong and St Kilda this year. So and we're fortunate we get the opportunity to play them again to really see where we're at. And obviously the teams we need to beat if we want to progress through to where we want to get for September.
Harry, what's wrong with Leon Davis?
What's wrong with him?
Yeah, I mean, his confidence.
You mean injury or?
Well, he seems to be really down on confidence. And you're a leader now. I'm sure you talk to him. You're trying to help him through it.
No, we've got full faith in Leon. He's been a fantastic player and contributor for us, not only through the mercurial things he can do in terms of winning games off his boot. I think he leads our tackling inside 50. He leads it for the club, and those are the things that make him a valuable player. So we're comfortable with the fact that if he keeps playing, doing those selfless things, then he'll keep playing. But he's so important. We know it's gonna come. We know you can't keep a good man down, and he can win games off his own boot. So yeah, we've got full faith that he'll bounce back and get back to that the Neon Leon, as BT likes to call him. Speaking
of boots, Saturday night the surface at ANZ Stadium looked, for certain players, extremely dodgy. Heath Shaw was one who tripped over several times. Your footing seemed to be fine. Is the surface as bad as we read and hear, and the way it looked at certain points of the game?
No, actually, I loved the surface. It was actually the first week I wore the longer stops. It was actually before the game. I was talking to Presty, and I was wearing my moulded boots because Presty being the old wise man that he is, I said, Presty, what are you going to wear? And I saw he was wearing the longer stops. He said, yeah, look, you just can't afford to fall over as a defender, because as soon as you go to your feet, then that's going to cost you, especially playing on a player like Adam Goodes. So I listened to Presty and I wore my longer stops. And
you passed that message on to Heath or not?
Well, I went through the whole defensive group and I asked them what they were going to wear, and a few said they wear the moulded, a few said they wear the longer stops, but I'm not sure what Heath was wearing. So
I think they were moulded.
Yeah, they must have, yeah, it was like it was ice skating.
Speaking of defence, you've been a bit of a pioneer with the rules this year, Harry. You've done this thing near the man of the mark when you go in and put a block on. It's becoming a bit more common among the Collingwood team. It started off seemingly earlier in the year. Where did you come up with this little ploy?
It's called the pick and roll in the basketball. No, well, it's the shepherd, really, isn't it? I don't think I'm the pioneer at all. But if you want to give me that credit, then put me down in the history books. But
for those things to work, you need a great understanding amongst your group, and I think that's one of your great strengths, isn't it? I mean, your back six generally has been really settled for a long time now, and you get to know each other and understand each other and trust one another. I think that's one of your great strengths down there.
It is. We played a fair bit of football together. Guys like Nick Maxwell and Heath Shaw, Alan Tuvey, who's just really developed, he's come out of nowhere from the rookie list. And now you've got guys coming through like Ben Reid, and we've got so much depth, and we're a really close unit. I think defensive groups tend to be a bit closer because there seems to be that whole men's department mentality, and we don't get as much hype as what the forwards and the midfielders get. So
probably fair enough.
Oh well, yeah. Look, we don't need it. You know, we're happy about going on our business as just getting the job done.
How old were you when you first picked up a footy?
How old was I?
Yeah.
Would have been 5, I think. Yeah.
What do you make of the push into other sports? Because you've got background in other sports. What do you make of the push into, say, Carmichael Hunt, Israel Folau, the broader game, reaching out to, you've got an American at your footy club at the moment.
Yeah.
Do you think it works? Do you think it's successful? And is it worth the investment of the AFL money?
Yeah, certainly. I think it's not just about what they can add on the field. I think once you push out to bringing these people with diverse backgrounds into our sport, it just opens up exposure to reaching a greater audience. So someone like Shay McNamara, who's at our football club, with bringing him into the football club, not only will we benefit on the field as the recruiters imagine, but also it adds so much to the game and adds so much to promotion and promoting the game. And so I'm all for the AFL looking after people that are giving back to the game and making sure that our game continues to be the premier game in Australia.
Harry, there's been a lot said about the Malthouse and Buckley dynamic. How are you seeing the transition going is the first question. And the second question of that is, what do you think Nathan Buckley will be as a coach?
I'll just say I've had so much practice in this question, so I'm feel bulletproof.
Don't speak too soon.
Yeah, well, okay, what do I think both are extreme professionals. You've got Mick, who's been in the game for 39 years, which is unbelievable, and I think it was his 800th game on the weekend, which is fantastic. And you've got Bucks, who, they're both two strong personalities. They're the ultimate professionals, and Bucks knows his role as an assistant coach, and he's doing that to the best of his ability. And Mick is the coach, and that's it's as simple as that.
One day you're going to ask someone, and one of the boys is going to say, "Oh, it's just not working." We're going to fall off the chair.
Can I ask why? Why is there that perception? I know.
No, I don't think.
Why do you need to feel bulletproof?
Oh well, I'm just playing on such a question that's so. Every time we do something with the media, it's always asked. But I want to know from you media people, why do we...
Because we never see Nathan really anymore. We saw a lot of him in the media. We saw a lot of him as a player. He sort of disappeared this year. Now he's an assistant coach and he doesn't want to do anything. He seems unwilling to put himself out there for some reason.
I think there's been enough body language to suggest things haven't been honky-dory.
What do you mean? The way they communicate?
Just how things have been. I don't think that if they had their chances, they both would have made the decision to do what they're doing. I think a fair bit of it was forced onto them. Harry, you made another bit of history tonight. You've turned us into the interviewees and you've become the questioner. Yeah. Well done.
I like it.
Like the way you roll.
What are you doing next Monday night?
We're going to spot it next Monday. Gary's away. Thanks for coming in. We appreciate it. You're one of the great characters of footy and you're in sensational form. We look forward to watching you all the way into the finals.
Yeah, thanks a lot for the opportunity.
Harry Obrien joining us on Footy Classified. A break, plenty more to come.
including the disastrous D's of the weekend. What's Gary's take on that? We'll find out.